Kevin, first of all, I want to thank you so much for being the lender that I've worked with for 10 years. And, you never let me down, and you never let my clients down. So I really, really appreciate that. It's Kevin Walsh with First Home Mortgage. So what can you tell me about the timing of transaction finance?
Okay, usually probably the standard for a ratified contract will be about 30 days. So what's going to happen is once the contract gets ratified, I call you, congratulate you guys, and then right away we're going to start a loan application, which takes, I'll fill in the documentation with the actual ratified contract amount, and then I'll send it to you. You electronically sign 95% of it. A few documents you would sign, send back to me. That starts the processing of your loan. We order the appraisal, things of that nature. So your loan probably with about 10 days later has gone through the processing, and now it's been submitted to underwriting. Underwriting takes about 2 days, day to 2 days, and then we have a conditional approval. And what that means essentially is you're going to get this house. We just might need a few bank statements or a couple updated pages of things, but minor information. Once we get that, we resubmit to underwriting. We get the full loan approval. In that process, that 7 to 10 day process, we're going to get your appraisal back. That gets reviewed to make sure it's accurate with all the comps that were used. So once all those documents fall into place, we get the loan approval probably within 17 to 21 days. That leaves an extra week for you to get ready for settlement. And then essentially it's getting the numbers down, getting you a final CD, which is what we're going to be disclosed as the final numbers. I explained to you how to get a check, or maybe a wire, a cashier's check, or a wire for the settlement company, and then guess what? You go to settlement. So it's a fairly simple process. It all is a interaction between the borrower and me as far as the timing of everything. If you take a little bit longer, the borrower takes a little bit longer to get stuff to me, then obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. But I have a tendency to stay on top of the buyers a little bit, so they don't delay the process.
You do. I have a question about, I know that I've used you for a bunch of transactions that are VA loans.
Right.
I think they're fantastic for people that are or have been in the military.
Yep.
What can you tell me that's maybe a little bit different about doing that loan? It takes a little longer, does it? I know the appraisal, they're a lot more thorough when they
Right.
do appraisals
Right.
of the
So
properties.
the big difference is the loan process from my standpoint and the borrower's standpoint is going to be the exact same, except for the appraisal. Appraisal has to go through the VA, and the list of appraisers are assigned from the Veterans Administration. So they kind of beat to their own drummer a little bit. So in some cases we can get it back within a week, which is usually about the time frame of my appraisals on my list. But it can be, I think they have up to, I think it's 21 days. So there can be a lag.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time they don't take up to that point. But we try to stay on top of them, but there's limited, what we can do as far as, telling them to rush because they're not working for us. Or the buyer of the transaction, they're working for the VA.
Okay.
So with that being said, not a lot of difference. You do have to be a veteran at some point or an active military person to be able to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing. But it's probably the best loan out on the streets these days.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for all your hard work. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And thank you so much for telling us about, the information that
Absolutely.
I have.
Well, thank you very much for your referrals. I appreciate that.
Of course,
first
I'll
and
always
foremost.
refer you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye.